Uh, Last 2 weeks, facing your first two losses on the season, what's gone differently for you?
I wouldn't really say anything's gone differently. Sure, they've put up their fair share of goals in the last two games, but that's kind of something you got to take away from the game is those losses, right? So when you're winning, it's all fun and it's all fine. When you lose, that's a great time to learn from that and go back and look at what we were doing wrong on our end, and what we as the Knighthawks can improve on, or what we got to stay to. So yeah, it's not fun to lose, but at the same time, you got to hate losing more than you love winning.
You mentioned what you can learn from those losses. What are some things you've learned?
Personally, what we've learned is we got to stick to our game plan, right? Again, since the beginning of the year, we've worried about the Knighthawks and what the Knighthawks are going to do, and not who's coming into our arena or going into theirs and what they're going to do. So just going back on ourselves and reflecting what we can improve on, or just going back to believing each other. So when you're believing each other and that chemistry that we have, things are going to be just fine.
Anything in that game that you picked up on from Matt Vince, maybe his influence outside of the save area? I know there was a couple of moves that he had that really switched the momentum in that game.
Matt Vince, again, he's a great goaltender. There's a reason why he's dominated the game for so long. I try and worry about what I'm doing, and when I was growing up, yeah, I was definitely writing things down in my mind and watching them. But now at this level and being on the other end of the floor, it's just he's a competitor and not worrying too much about the way he's playing to swing the game. So again, great goaltender. There's a reason for that, and not too worried or thinking about that.
How's it been building a relationship with Riley Hutchcraft over this season, and how is it knowing that if you have those moments where you're just getting into your head, so where he can be the one to come in for you?
You know, Riley's an amazing guy. He's an amazing dad. He's an amazing teammate. I'm glad that I've got to meet him. He's a huge part of this team, and when Riley's here at practice games or even away when we're going to dinner, he's just a fun guy. He's got a good sense of humor, and knowing that the way he supports me and he's letting me know when I go to the bench, you know, here we go, like we got the next one, or keep doing my thing. Like it's just such an unrecognized thing that Riley's doing. And when he comes in the net and I'm going back in, he's all support, and so that's a huge thing to have on a team. And guys like that are what keeps the wheels turning. So extremely thankful to have Riley Hutchcraft and that I've got to meet him, and I know that everyone else in that room will say the same thing because he's just an amazing guy and an amazing dad.
So right now on that defensive end over these last 2 weeks, no Dan Coates. I mean, how much have you seen this defense miss him, and where have you seen them maybe improve a little bit with his absence?
So it's no lie that it's affected us a little bit. Dan Coates is a massive part of this team when he was brought in. His influence to everyone from top to bottom is huge, right? He's just a guy that pushes us to get better every practice, every game, to keep our mind on what's at task. He's always reminding us that. And what's next? That's a big thing Coachy stands for, is what's next. So, you know, maybe not having that on the bench, it hurts a bit. But we got to keep that in our mind. And that's why we have guys like Paul Dawson and Rylan and a lot of other veterans like Curtis Knight that are pushing us and picking up his part when he can't be there on the bench. So it's to have Coachy missing, yeah, it's a little bit of a friggin' damage.